After the release of PowerPros 7 for the PS2, Diamond Head knew they now had a game foundation they could work on to make the best they could. Used as almost a test run and coming out not long after the PS2 had launched, the team quickly got to work on making its sequel a true upgrade from the PlayStation and N64 era. Released in August 2001, PowerPros 8 is a result of that upgrade. From the opening anime intro to the cleaner, more polished graphics during the games, the team at Diamond Head made sure that each aspect of 8 truly showed what they were capable of on the new hardware. Stadiums now have the correct advertisements, making the atmosphere closer to their real-life counterparts. The gameplay remains tight and responsive, and with clearer graphics it's now easier, for better or worse, to hit Anfield. This is also the last game Noriyuki Abe commentates for after having his voice used in nearly every game since the original release back on the Super Famicom. The pennant mode saw some improvements, allowing you to draft, trade and dismiss players. However, that's not to say there aren't some negatives that this entry created. Success mode has once again been changed, something that was becoming common between each new game. However, instead of being set at different levels of baseball, the mode now has you set on Draft Island. You create your player as normal and then are given the task to find out what happened to your ex-teammate who travelled to the island. Rather than the usual progression of training, playing games and interacting with various events, here you're given free rein to travel around the island like a board game. You can visit gyms to train up, find other players to help with training and join your team for matches, or go to cities to shop and to encounter events. Training at gyms can now be done with the aid of a partner, boosting points acquired each time, and with different gyms offering a different benefit. Unlike previous modes where you could either be let go or promoted, which would end the game, here you have deadlines to acquire enough team members or stamps from gyms that will allow you to stay on the island for longer. While you can still end the game and save your player for future use should you complete a team's gym challenge, the story only continues should you meet the requirements of the central tower. Recruiting 9 players and entering the tower makes you face off in 2 games. In the first game you play against an android version of your assembled team. Depending on how well you've trained your player and what teammates you've acquired, this can either be relatively easy or extremely tough. Because the CPU team copies your stats, you can purposely not make your player any good so you can have a better chance of winning. Beating this team, however, puts you against an android team of legendary players like Sadaharu Oh and Shigeo Nakashima. Even with a high-level created character and a good team, this is one of the hardest challenges the series has produced so far. The difficulty is set to max, making it a true test of skill compared to the usual requirement of luck. Should you win this match, not only will you get a resolution to the story and a bunch of points to improve your player one last time, but a credit sequence which was a first for success mode. This change to regular success mode is quite a breath of fresh air from the previous iterations, offering players a completely new experience. But the difficulty in trying to make high-level players be essentially locked behind 2 difficult games, the luck of even finding players, and hoping for no negative events or injuries means it can be infuriating to play through. As a whole, the game once again showed Diamond Head's love for the series and their decision to take risks by trying out new ideas. Even if the success mode wasn't to long-time fans' taste, the change in style made this entry unique for the time. As per usual, there was an updated version, PowerPros 8 Ketiban, released only a few months later in December 2001, which fixed some bugs and updated the rosters. It made some minor tweaks to success mode to make it slightly easier, but nothing overly game-changing. The third entry of the handheld spin-off series, PowerPro Kun Pocket 3, was released for the Game Boy Advance in March 2001. As the first version released on the more powerful Game Boy successor, the menu graphics took a step up, as did the gameplay screen. Continuing as a portable success mode separate from the main series, this time the story takes a wild shift from the usual setting. After getting into a road accident, which is pretty common for all players in PowerPro, the player is resurrected as an android. By taking on a part-time job, you earn money which is then used to buy parts and upgrade your player. It's an interesting twist on the normal success mode, but it can be rather tough due to the number of events that can leave you with 0 energy, resulting in an instant game over. The actual baseball side is a much needed improvement over the original Game Boy title, but compared to the main series is equally as tough. Cheap tactics like safety bunting constantly will get you further than just trying to play normally. A definite enhancement from the previous games that leave a lot more room to refine even further. While one new Nintendo console saw PowerPros come to it, the N64 had its final game, PowerPros Basic Hand 2001, come out also in March 2001. Like the Super Famicom Basic title before, this is a bare bones version that has the success mode stripped out. As a plus, you are able to transfer players using passwords from Pocket 3 and the rosters are up to date, but that's about it when it comes to reasons to play this over the previous release. Even though the series was ending on the N64, the original PlayStation was still going strong and had PowerPros 2001 released in June 2001. Bringing back the dramatic pennant and offering a different story for Success Mode on top of updated rosters, this version gave players enough reason to still try it out due to these changes. Like the password sharing between Pocket 3 and Basic 2001, here creative players can be shared with PowerPros 8, giving people another incentive to try both. Later in December, PowerPros 2001 Ketaiban was also released on the PlayStation. The staple updated rosters are here with minor new experiences such as holding spring training camps during Dramatic Pennant. Two more games were released in 2001, PowerPros Online Edition for PC in July, and CR Netto PowerPro Kun Pachete Chonmage Tatsujin for the PS2 in December. Online Edition allowed players to play against each other over the internet for the first time and introduced controls for hitting with the mouse. While it doesn't have a success mode, the game allowed fans from all over Japan to compete with one another as long as they paid a monthly membership. The PS2 game, made by Hackberry and using the PowerPros license, is a pachinko game. Like most pachinko machines, the aim is to get the tiny balls into various goals on the board to trigger events on the main screen. Completely void of any baseball gameplay, this is just an excuse to get people to play the machine, although it is quite cool that there was a real life version made. In between the release of 8 and 9, Nintendo had launched their new console, the Gamecube, in Japan in September 2001. With the series now firmly established on the PS2 and with a new Nintendo console available, the next mainline release, PowerPros 9, came out in July 2002 on both platforms. As the graphics and gameplay were already at an excellent level, this time the sound saw the majority of the enhancements. Crowds and cheering songs sound much clearer as they've made new ones compared to reusing the same sounds from the N64 games. The option to use rookie settings in certain modes was also introduced, allowing players to use the lock-on at the plate and automatic defensive plays when in the field. Taking over commentary duties from this game from Noriyuki Abe was Yoshinari Tsuji. The change is a little jarring at first after hearing Abe for so many years, with there also being no announcement of the game name at the title screen, which is another weird omission. Pennant mode again made upgrades, bringing it closer to real baseball operations with the ability to scout free agents and foreign players. It's also expanded into a 10-year playthrough, with players now aging, reflecting their growth and decline. After the trial of Draft Island on 8, 9 goes back to playing high school baseball for success mode. There are 5 schools to choose from, each with different stories and agendas for what the team are looking to achieve, although you can only play as powerful high school to begin with. Lots of events that went missing in 8 are now back, such as girlfriends, with many secret events defined depending on your choices and outcomes of games. The friendship tag training introduced in 8 is also expanded, now allowing for more players to help to boost training points. With 3 years to play through, the mode is slightly easier than previous versions to create strong players due to the balance of training and not relying on winning games. Most schools have major strong points and weaknesses, so winning games against them feels fairer. But there is still the ever-present high amount of luck needed to not encounter too many negative events that can result in being sent to the hospital or experiencing a game over. One other mode that also had a new addition was the Home Run Derby. You now have 2 modes to try, the regular Home Run Derby, or you can take part in Go Home Run mode. Starting off in Chuo Ward, Tokyo, the goal is to make it all the way to the Fukuoka Dome in Fukuoka City. This is accomplished by hitting home runs and travelling the distance the ball went. As you travel the country, you'll be given gifts as you pass through different towns and cities, which can be viewed in the gallery. When you start the mode, the map makes the distance seem relatively short, but in total, the distance to travel is 1300 kilometers or 808 miles. Considering a home run can be anywhere between 130 and 168 meters, the amount of home runs needed can range between 8 to 10,000. You can save progress at any time, which for most people will be needed, as on average this takes over 24 hours to complete. The reward for completing this also doesn't reflect the effort and dedication needed, as all you get to use is Home Run Kun as a player in other modes. An interesting idea, but is really only for those with the time and commitment to see it through to the end. Aside from minor differences between which console could transfer players from other games in the series, overall both versions are equally fun to play. The game had tried something different with success mode in 8, and it's clear that they went back to the normal setting of 9 due to its popularity. So with the refinement of other modes like Pennant and even the inclusion of Go Home Run, the team was still willing to try and bring new concepts to each main title. The definitive version, PowerPros 9 Ketaiban, released in December 2002, again on both consoles. Along with the usual bug fixes and roster changes, the game now includes the regular announcement on the title screen for those who missed it. The success mode didn't see many tweaks, but Go Home Run mode had been changed to Run Home Run instead. Now you're racing against 999 other players with bonuses added for hitting consecutive home runs, shortening the mode from around 24 hours to 6. The Game Boy Advance saw PowerPros Pocket 4 released in March 2002. The game goes back to a normal setting compared to the last version, placing you in a weak team training to get more members. Losing games will spirit away one of your teammates, so winning games is even more vital this time. While the success mode is the same as other versions, there are mini-games included throughout the playthrough. There is also another secret success mode for clearing the game 3 times, RPG style Fantasy Edition, which plays more like a regular RPG. The PlayStation had PowerPros 2002 Haru also in March 2002. While still trailing behind the main series, this version did include some updates. These include highlight scenes at the end of games in pennant mode, or allowing players to learn more abilities through managers in success mode. In 2003 marked the 10th main version to be released, PowerPros 10, in July. Once again releasing on PS2 and Gamecube, Diamond Head set to make this worthy of the anniversary. Keeping the same graphics and sounds as 9, refinements to modes were made instead. Using an internet connection, you could download other created players rather than sharing passwords, which helped share high-level players. The foreign quota system was put into pennant mode, bringing it again closer to real-world MPB standards. The targeting system for hitting is also first seen in 10. When batting, if the player doesn't move the bat too much, a hit can result in a more powerful blow. This allowed strong players to hit deep balls easier while giving weaker characters a chance to hit further, which helped to balance out teams. As it is the anniversary, Diamond Head also introduced 2 new modes. Not as fleshed out as it would be seen in later iterations, in My Life mode you take control of either a created or regular player playing out their career. Starting off in the second team, you play games trying to earn the manager's trust to be promoted. There's no training, so stats are improved by playing games and doing well. Money can be earned to buy better accommodation and vehicles, but there's not much else to do with it. It's a fun change of pace compared to the stat and luck heavy gameplay of success mode, and makes for an enjoyable, if shallow, experience. The other new mode is Showdown Legendary Players. Selecting between 4 different time periods, here you can choose to either hit or pitch against famous players from each era. As the difficulty increases, you'll need to get more hits or outs, but for every section cleared, you unlock players to be used in other mode. Success mode has you playing in one of 4 teams, each with their own storyline and goals again. You can only select the Gameboy Powerfuls to begin with, but completing the mode will unlock the rest. Each team has advantages and disadvantages for training, but are overall balanced enough where there isn't a clear best to pick. The volume of events has increased too, allowing for things like salary negotiations and all-star games to take place. You can even be sent to America to play, which adds more than just a change of scenery. Here the commentary, calls and game information will change to English, a first for the series.
Second delivery, hammers it. Is it gone? And it's out of here. They open the scoring with a double homer.
The commentary and calls help add to the atmosphere of playing in a foreign league, but the menu translations are direct and not all what the words mean in English. But as a glimpse to future titles, it's exciting to see it all added. As the 10th main iteration, 10 adds a lot and shows how proud the team were in what they had accomplished so far. PowerPros 10 Cho Ketiban 2003 Memorial, or as the English translates to PowerPros 10 Super Definitive Edition 2003 Memorial, came out in December 2003. Unlike other updated versions released months after the original, here the team literally made the ultra definitive version, surpassing what was only 4 months old. Along with updated rosters and adding extra features like fans to My Life, it's the big addition to success mode that was the main draw for players. You can select from all 4 teams right from the start now, but there is a 5th team to play through, the Success All-Stars. Breaking away from the normal success gameplay and being partially closer to pennant mode, it puts you in charge of the new 7th team in whichever league you choose. You can select from 4 secretaries based on characters from previous games that each offer different benefits for the team. Rather than just using regular team members, you're given a set budget and can recruit from a whole host of characters from previous series. This includes not just players from the last 10 years of the main series, but Pocket too. You don't have to use all your money nor fill out a whole squad, as empty spots will be filled with generic players. The reason for not using all your funds is that it can be used to improve training practices, though these can only improve the main character's stats and not anyone who's been contracted. After training, which only happens once between games, you then take on the team above you in the league, aiming to beat them all and reach the top. These are full 9-inning games with no mercy rule that start off easy and get progressively harder the higher you climb up the league. Extra money is earned after each win depending on outcomes like hits or run, which can then be used again to acquire more players or upgrade training. Losing results in an instant game over, though if the player has won at least one match, there may be a chance they get scouted and registered into the player directory. This is a brilliant addition and one that allows fans to make dream teams of their favourite characters in high-risk win or lose games. Players looking to create high-level players may be disappointed though. By recruiting a few strong players and using the rest to train, the team will be quite weak overall, making winning games tough. Using all the funds to make a strong team means you can win easier but not improve your player as much. The benefits of the secretaries aren't very balanced either, with Kyoko Kato almost being required if you want to progress, due to her skill of never letting players get out of form or pitches requiring rest. This allows you to get the best pitches and use them exclusively to lock down other teams, then use leftover funds for strong hitters. Completing this mode also gives fans a credit sequence showing off all the different success modes from 3 onwards, reminding players of how far the series has come. This concept will be used again in future games, but here it was a great gift to players who had seen the series improve and made bonds with different characters over the years. 2003 also saw the final original PlayStation version, PowerPros Premium Band, released in January. While not given the same amount of attention as the main series and mainly being a copy of 2001 with updated rosters, there were a few small inclusions. There's now a ball power meter for pitching, which gives players a way of deciding how strong a pitch to throw. Some special abilities also now come in 5 levels. As the final game on the console, it's not as big as a send-off as it could have been, but it's understandable due to the age of the hardware. Also at the start of the year in January, PowerPro Kun Pocket 5 on the Game Boy Advance came out. Continuing the story from 2, the protagonist swaps bodies with an up-and-coming star player, leading to them now being stuck in the body of a second-string member. With the aim to get your original body back, you train, encounter events and play games to try and earn the same stardom as the player had before. Gameplay wise, it's now a bit easier, especially with the PCI being changed to a circle, making contact less difficult. Accounts can now be had to train multiple areas, leading to stronger players being less of a hassle to create. Like Pocket 4, there is also a secret success mode that is another RPG that uses Romance of the Three Kingdom as its setting. Finally, players can use the independent mode to play through seasons with their created player, offering a My Life style of mode like the home console version. Players didn't have to wait long for the next game in the series, as PowerPro Kun Pocket 6 launched in December. Going back to a more fantastical story, here players are part of the Time Patrol Force who have been sent back in time to stop an evil organisation from ruining a company's work on a battery that would save the world energy crisis in the future. With days now split into 2 halves, there is more room for training and developing your character, but the core length of the game has also been shortened. This version introduces pocket points, a currency earned each time by completing success mode or by converting players. Points can be used to buy helpful items which will boost your character throughout a playthrough. It's a system that can't be exploited to make high level players at the cost of a lot of time and effort to gain the points required. Another secret success mode was also added, this time acting as a what if scenario if the player failed their mission in the main success story. Trapped on an island and having to pay off his debt, you play in the company's baseball team to earn money. Still included is the pennant mode, but it's also now shortened to 1 year. Gameplay wise, it also plays just like 5 without any noticeable improvements. Diamond Head had come a long way in the last 10 years, refining and tuning PowerPros across multiple systems. With each new entry, they are trying to expand and give players something to look forward to keep them entertained. In the next video, we'll see them launch on 2 more consoles and even tap into a different league altogether. If you've enjoyed the video and you feel like you've learned something, then don't forget to leave a like or drop a comment below. But that's it for this part. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're playing, and I'll catch you in the next one.